And let's start with the diary. 14th of September. Fiddick Park. I picked Lindsay up from work and we headed for Fiddick Park for an overnight stop. Yes, Lindsay is working again. On the way to pick her up I forgot to retract the step and it got ripped off on a bank. More things to fix. Later, when we arrived at the park up, there was a tiny teardrop caravan parked amongst the trees. We had a cup of tea, then an early night as we're up at 4:30 in the morning. 15th of September 2018, Allanreid. My plan for today was to have another day by the Spey in Aberlour and pick up Lindsay and head off for a stopover somewhere. However, that soon changed. First, due to a stuck gauge, we ran out of gas, so no hot copper before work for Lindsay. Then, as I fiddled about trying to get the gas lit, the 12 volts suddenly went off. So, breakfast by torchlight was the order of the day, whilst I tried to get power going. We did switch over to the engine battery to give us proper light though. I dropped Lindsay off at work early to get a copper in the canteen, then went off to rip the 12 volts apart. It turned out to be a sticky relay. A technical tap sorted that out. So now to the gas. We had the fridge working on gas, so I thought we were okay. I went to fill up though and soon found that the gauge was stuck on one of the bottles. So I sat down with a cuppa and waited for more to go wrong. When Lindsay finished work, we headed for Allanreid on the Glen Livet estate. We had a cuppa and then went for a walk and I collected a geocache. And we saw the river in full flow. We headed back to the van to relax and watch the hares on the road past the park up. We chilled into the evening, then off to bed after a nice dram. 16th of September 2018. The RSGB news on HF was at best comedic this morning, and there was no 2 metre news as a newsreader is in Australia. A walker came to park up and came as close as he could get to us. Why do people do that? It was soon time to head for home. I have a new step on order and it should not be too bad to replace, touch wood, only 4 rusty bolts. Welcome to a Desmond Donders special. In response to the vlog from the bog, my Worm's Eye View and Dan's Haunted House, here is my vlog from the bog after a particularly awful day. Hands up if you thought I was going to say a different word. I just wait for the cars to go past outside, and yep, the establishing shot there was just to prove that I was sitting where I said I was sitting. So yeah, this is a one-off special, the vlog from the bog, or as it's a bit of a haver, would that be a haver from the shaver? No, I don't shave, do I? Not with this beauty. Anyway, what am I going to talk about? Well, this weekend has certainly not gone to plan. On my way to pick Lindsay up, guess what? I forgot to retract the step on the motorhome. So it is currently lying embedded in a bank somewhere between here and the house. So, what else has gone wrong? Well, last night we went to Fiddick Park, parked up, perfectly pleasant evening. Woke up this morning to find that we had no gas. Or apparently the gas wasn't working, because we had gas, the fridge was working on gas, but we couldn't get the kettle, the burner on the cooker to ignite. Whilst this was happening, there was a sudden plunge into darkness. Remember, this is at 4:30 in the morning. Sudden plunge into darkness, and we had no 12 volts either. So while I fiddled about, Lindsay got on making breakfast, and we had water instead of a cup of tea with our breakfast. And a cold breakfast. That's normal. We don't always have the fry up or hot rolls or things like that. So we're into 3 things that have gone wrong now. We've got no gas, no 12 volts, and no step. So it's not all bad news. I've got a step coming already, the power of the internet, and well, it's expensive, it's not as expensive as it might be. and I've got the 12 volts fixed, hooray! With a technical tap, and yeah, the gas is working as well. Stock gauge on one of the refillable bottles meant that although we thought we had a bottle, we didn't. We had nothing. There was enough pressure just to keep the gas in the fridge on, but not enough to light anything else. All sorted now, bar the step, which will be a week to 10 days arriving. So, bit of a disaster, but a great inspiration for my vlog from the bog. Thank you for watching this week's Haber, or rather this week's vlog from the bog.